Yay. Pop in, say hi, let me know where you're from if you haven't been to my lives before. Hi, I'm Cindy X for the inside and the outside, and my desk is a mess. It's been a day of lessons and a day of a little bit of spacing out and contemplating. I did spend some time with some family today, and right, and in that there's always lessons, aren't they? And I'm just settling in, doing a little housework. Oh, one more thing I've got to do. One more thing. I'll be right back. I didn't turn my dinner off. Just give it a little bit of stir there, and yeah, it'll be ready. Like I said, little bit of disorganization, but that's okay. It's my day off. And I'm so happy to be here with everybody. Hello, Angry Birds. Andrew's here. Owen's here. How have your weeks been going? Let me know. How everybody's been doing this week. It has been a pretty good couple of weeks for me so far. I can't complain, especially when I look around me and I can see that people are having problems or right, that they're suffering. Like, what right do I have to complain about a couple of things that I can just take care of on my own, right? Yeah. Getting ready for my trip, everybody. Getting ready for my trip. Pretty excited about doing that. I think I've got it figured out. The car, not so set. I would really, really, really like to buy a car. They're saying any kind of credit taken, and I probably got the worst credit than anybody. I don't owe, well, I'm sure there are people out there that owe millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know anything like that, but I am in debt. And it may seem a little bit of irresponsible to think about going on a holiday or getting away from my life. That's what I think of it. My sabbaticals. This is something I've done. I've always gone like camping and just done little road trips. This is something a little bit different for me. I'm going mining for amethyst. I've never been mining before, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. And on top of that, like I said, I'm not just doing this for me. I'm kind of hoping that it's going to build some momentum, and that some of these ideas that I have for my brand, that maybe I could manifest a few of them, and we can have some fun, and we can get back to a little bit, right? It's going to be different because I'm different. All of you are different too. Like, my brand is going to change, and I wouldn't expect anything less, right? That's a good sign when my brand is changing. It means I'm trying new things. I'm trying new things out. And I do have some ideas for this trip. I don't want to share and give all not like it's big secrets or anything, but until I've got things formed a little bit more solidly, right? And like I said, I'm going to be doing it in kind of a series forms, which I kind of like to do, right? Just another series for my channel. And yeah, and see if I can build on that. I am pretty excited. I am ready for a break, but I also know that this is an opportunity. If I'm going to invest a little bit of money in doing something, right, that's going to bring me some enjoyment. Of course, I want to provide enjoyment for all of you that have kind of stuck it out with me with my promises, and I hope you never thought truly that they were empty promises that I was making. But here I am. I'm getting back on the road, and I am excited about that. And Angry Birds wasn't sticking around. I don't know if Angry Birds just shows up on my Sunday night lives, or if he actually takes a look at some of the other kind of videos that I put out there. I'm an urban explorer. I explore abandoned farms, abandoned houses. I like to do the road trips. I've had some adventures in bushcrafting. That was a fun one. But yeah, I am varied in my interests, and I would just like to see if Mother Nature. Like, it has to be tied into my brand. It has to be. It's been such a big part of my brand ever since I started this journey on YouTube, right? So I would like to see if I could just steer it back to the main road of my YouTube, and see if I could provide a little bit of enjoyment, if nothing else, a little bit of humor for you guys as I'm kicking it back in. And yeah, let me know how everybody is doing. Andrew, how have you been doing? How's your rehabilitation been going? How have you been feeling? I'd like to know that in the comments. I'm reading the comments as they go. Oh, and you know what? In Angry Birds is talking, just when you put up that name, Angry Birds, it's a brand name, right? Angry Birds. And I'm kind of thinking, what do I want to be doing with my brand, right? How do I want to market my brand? I know that maybe this. I have 3 days off here in Canada. It is a holiday. It is a long weekend. I have 3 days off right now. That I'm thinking maybe it's time for me to maybe change my channel art on my channel, and see if I can update it a little bit, and see if it reflects more in the idea of what I want to put across, right? I thought I was doing that before, but yeah, I have some ideas that I want to put across, and with understanding that that I have to do a little bit of research. I have to do a little project or a little practicing, and this is a good way to kind of get back into the swings, right? It's been a long time since I changed the channel art, but I'll let you guys know, and you guys can let me know. Maybe I'll do a community post or something during the week. Maybe I'll make that. Yes, maybe I'll make that my goal for this week. To get ready for this adventure, make sure that my channel art is good, my description is good, do a little bit of editing in there, make sure that that my Instagram store, or not my Instagram store, my Amazon store. I do have an Amazon store, that I'm actually leading my viewers to products that I think will be good to them, right? Probably update the camping products in my Amazon page, right? Give some people some idea of some of the products I like to use, or I would like to use, right? Some of the mindset authors, some of the thought leaders out there, maybe some of their books. Get some links. I know I do have a link to Evan Carmichael's Built to Serve book. If any of you guys wanted to check that book out, that's one of my main books that I've been following to make sure that I'm making a proper movement in the direction that I want to go. Maybe I'm not doing it as fast as some people would think, but right? Maybe I'm challenged. Maybe it's my age, right? Maybe it's me. Maybe, right? Maybe it's just me, instead of putting the blame on everything and everyone else, right? Yeah. Today was my sister's Tracy's birthday, and we went out this morning for breakfast. I just had coffee, right? I just had coffee, but it was a really, really nice visit. It was nice to sit there and socialize a little bit and see how everybody's doing and reconnect, right? In a nice manner, and actually have conversations, which was kind of nice, and not feel like I was all being defensive and stuff. And I actually stopped off at the Jeep and Jeep dealership there, and I actually was taking pictures of me with my Jeep Wrangler, right? Unlimited Rubicon 2021. Yeah, Melvin should be here soon. If he's not here already. But how have you guys been doing? Owen, Andrew, Angry Birds. Do we have a first name for you, dear? Do we have a first name for you? Can you shoot us a name, or can you? Because we're just going to call you Angry Birds, right? Wouldn't it? Aren't we? You're here almost every Sunday night. You've only missed a couple of Sundays in the past few months, Angry Birds. That maybe it might be a good idea if you shoot us a name that we can better refer you to, right? You know, if you don't want to share your real name, make up a name that you're attached to or that you're fond of, right? And we'd be happy to call you that, right? Instead of just calling you Angry Birds, right? Yeah. It makes it a little bit more personal, right? Today I'm using my mug. You're one in a melon on my Instagram lives. I like to use a different cup depending on my personality that morning or depending on the topic we're going to talk about. I actually talked about a really good one this morning. I have a friend in Turkey, right? His name's Fardy, and when we get together and have conversations, he's really interesting. He thinks about some important things, right? And yeah, we get deep into these discussions, and these are talks that I think that I'd be able to have with Andrew or Owen, right? With you guys. But yeah, it's really nice that we get together on my Instagram and we have these great chit chats, right? Oh, employee, like with the spelling errors, Andrew, because I know that was on purpose. Because I know you don't normally have improper grammar, so I'm going to assume that was the joke, right? And a supervisor being an employee, right? Yeah. Funny. Yeah, I do like mugs. I have mugs from all over the place. I actually gave my sister a mug. I gave her my uh perennial optimist one, thinking, she needs to be a little bit optimistic that things are going to go a little bit better for her. Get the message across without drilling it into somebody, because it's not probably something that she wants to concentrate right now, right? You don't want to pester people, but leave it there. Maybe in the morning when she has a cup of coffee and she stares at the pretty mug and thinks, oh, what a nice looking mug, and she reads what it says, it might warm her heart a little bit, right? And give her that little bit of optimism that everything is going to be okay. We're expecting some tests in this week to see how she's doing, right? You know, we don't know what's been going on. We don't know, like we could throw, and I actually threw my idea of leaky, and it's not even a common issue, but I said leaky spine. And she actually said that one of these tests that she's waiting to hear back on is for that issue. And this is something that can be fixed, right? So it take an operation probably, but it can be fixed and you can recover from it fairly well. But I don't know what brought it to my mind to ask her to maybe check into that. But yeah, supposedly these are one of the tests. So hopefully my sister's gonna be good, and when she gets her results, that everything is going to be solvable, right? That there's going to be some light, right, at the end of the tunnel, and she's going to feel a little bit better, right? She was really happy to see me today, and I shone on her the best, right? And I hugged her and I threw so as much love at her as I could possibly muster, right? And yeah, she looked pretty worn out, and it did tug at my heart a little bit, and it did leave me in a bit of a reflective mood, right? To just to think, because she's my sister. If there was something I could do, here I am online, and I'm helping people out there, but she's not interested in the kind of help that I actually learned to help people exactly what she's going through. And because, I think that, a part of my journey here, a part of what I'm doing here is to, help in the healing in my own family, in a lot of that healing, right? There's a lot of misconceptions in our family, a lot of limiting beliefs, right? and not just in my family, but me myself, right? Me myself. But yeah, I would like to see I would like to see my sister Tracy do a little bit better for herself. Yes, I'm still going to keep my distance, right? Because she has, let's say, some personality. She has some personality, and her soul doesn't quite like my soul, and she can't help herself. But I can't help how I feel too, right? I can't help that I feel that it's not healthy for me to be around that. But of course, if she's having some really, and it looks pretty serious. It looks pretty serious, and yeah, I pray for some good results when she gets to hear from her doctor after those tests, that hopefully they figured out truly what was wrong, because this all started the same time I woke up, like even maybe even before that, when my mother died, right? When my mother died, that maybe my mother, I kind of think that, my sister inherited a little bit of my mom's spirit, right? But my mother was sore. My mother had issues, and since my mother passed away, it has been difficult for some members in the family. And especially now that with the coronavirus and all that's been going on with that, right? My family has taken a beating just like everybody else's family has taken a beating. And, I can look at again, coming, standing back and just look at the progress, look at all the good stuff that's been going on in my life, how I've kept a roof over my head and pulled myself up from the situation that I was in, right? And then put up some boundaries and pull myself away from people that were not healthy for me, even knowing that they needed me desperately, but then still adapted and conquered and still was able to have some form of connection, some form of interaction, right? Still holding hot tight, still hoping that things are going to fall into place, and people will fall into place, and souls will fall into place, right? What can you do? You're going to beat yourself. You can beat yourself up forever, right? Some things we just don't have the answers for, and we just have to kind of go with how things are, use our best intuition that we could possibly can, right? Feel our way around, deal with the moments as they arise, right? And just keep moving forward. And if people want to come along, people will come along. And if they don't, they have their own ideas about things, right? Let it be their struggles. We all have struggles. All of us, we all have different struggles. Things we struggle with by ourselves that we think nobody is going to understand, right? Sometimes we're just stubborn headed and just, hold our ground and everything's okay and don't mind me, and right? Yeah. And then think other people have bigger problems than us, right? So that's, and you have to think that way a little bit sometimes, right? Because it makes our struggles seem a little bit smaller when you see or hear or experience, struggles through somebody else's eyes, right? There are people out there that have great difficulties, right? Life-threatening situations, health situations, you know, got to be grateful. We got to be grateful, right? But we also know how fast things can turn on a dime, right, Andrew? Now you're just coming out of this. It's a slow process, but right, you're pulling out of a situation that happened so fast, and could have had totally different results. And we're grateful, right, that it turned out a little bit different. But we take a moment, right? And we think, right? What could have happened? Could have been a different result. Uh, we could have been in sorrow. We could have been in heartbreak rather than in gratefulness, right? Gratefulness and forgiveness, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I was just going off a little bit, right? But emotionally, Andrew, right? Because you were disconnected a little bit before that, right? when you just had those rules in place, right? Not to resuscitate and stuff. Like, I was very sad to hear that, and I was just, if you had to go through that terrible experience of the staph infection, I would hope that there was some revelations in that too, that that you got a sense of how precious life is, and right, take every opportunity to make it better, right? That the world would not be the better place that it is if you weren't in it, right? I would miss you terrible, Andrew. I would miss you absolutely terrible if something happened to you. And how would I know? Because I would be sending you emails and you just wouldn't be replying back to me. And I would think, oh my goodness, is Andrew mad at me? He's not coming to my lives anymore. What did I do? I would be thinking of this, right? So, yeah, none of you guys be dying on me, because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to, well, maybe I'll pull up the best scenario, right? But the best scenario is not, oh my goodness, my friend has passed away, right? My best scenario probably would be, oh, he's mad at me, or he's moved on, right? Cindy's just gotten a little bit too off the beaten path here, right? On to different adventures, right? Oh, Andrew, do you? Oh, I love that you did that. I love that you did that. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, you're very dear to me. You certainly are. I would sure like to see my brand take off, and we can get you away from the university job, and you can kind of hang out in my comments on my brand, and I could just pay you your paycheck every 2 weeks, and you wouldn't have to stress, right? Yeah, your gifts would be very, very handy. Oh, they're more than handy, right? The way you make people feel so comfortable. You too, Owen. You too, for sure, 100%, right? You're my light in the darknesses. When people have those difficult lives, when life is just beating them down, when they don't see the good things going on, and yet they just shine, right? And they just smile through their troubles, and they make other people comfortable, other people happy, right? Let me just turn off some of these notifications. Yeah. Should turn down the volume. I just turned the monitor around a little bit because the sun's going down, and when it goes down, I can't see the screen and I can't see the comments, right? Yeah, I really appreciate that you did that, Andrew. I appreciate that you did. And with all of you guys, like, like, if Kathy disappeared, oh my goodness, I probably would experience an anxiety attack. I think I would experience an anxiety attack, right? Because Kathy keeps me grounded. She certainly does. On my Instagram, yeah, she keeps me grounded for sure. And I don't go too far, right? You always have a little bit of insight or something, and I think about it, and I'm always able to pull myself back when I see I've gone a little bit too far off the beaten path, right? And in this journey, I think all of you have contributed to that, right? And yeah, that's amazing, especially if you're concentrating without the stress, right? To keep those stress levels down as you can, right? Just keep working. But sometimes, you're the stable person in the room. You're the person that's solid, grounded one when things get all hairy, scary, that people look at you and your calmness, and you just hacking away at your job the best you can. I bet you that's appreciated. I bet you that's noticed, Andrew, 100%. 100% Andrew. Now I'm not seeing Owen's comments here. You guys are all yapping. Let me just take a look here. Oh no. Yeah, I hear it. Okay, I saw it. I was getting a little bit worried. I did. Owen, just say here, just like in class, right? Here, just to let me know, that I'm not missing your comments or your conversation there. Yeah, I know Angry Birds chats a lot, but you guys are my moderators, so you guys are highlighted, so it's easy for me to keep my eyes on your comments, right? It's, well, not easy, but it's easier for me because I know you guys talk pretty fast, right? I know you guys talk pretty fast. But that is true, right? And that's part of what I do too, right? When I'm sharing my stuff, when I'm sharing my urban explorations, right? When I was doing my abandoned houses, always try to do it a way to catch the feeling. I'm not sure if I did a very good job. I wasn't very good with the camera, and I didn't have a lot of good camera gear going on, but I did the best I could. But I wanted it to be like an experience for you guys too when I was doing that, right? So I'm really working on planning on making sure that this trip coming up, I'm going mining, you guys. How exciting is that? I'm going mining for amethyst, right? It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to get a lot of content. I'm going to feel that I'm home again. I know that much, right? I'm pretty excited to accomplish a goal, to set out another goal. And I'm not all frantic about it this time. Like last time, I was all nervous and frantic whether or not it was going to work out. I know it's going to work out. I know it's going to work out better than what I planned, right? I know it's going to work out better than I hoped it would. But at the same time, it's probably, I did put it too far, it's probably going to be a lot different, right? A lot different because I do plan on putting the mindset and the mindfulness in with the content, right? I think it's important. I think my content should provide value, and because being locked down during the coronavirus and right losing the car and stuff, it was kind of a sign the way my content changed, right? It didn't have a choice. I mean, I could have just quit altogether, right? And like not even do my Sunday nights, like that ever would be an option, right? Yeah. I'll be coming home, I think, on a Saturday night. I'm leaving Monday, and I think I will be home on Saturday. So yeah, a day after my trip, and you guys will hear all about it on the live. I plan on having a couple of videos to start with, just talking about the trip, what my plans, what my hopes for the trips are for myself and for everybody out there, and a little bit of what I'm going to do, right? Because I do want to highlight the city, right, of Thunder Bay also, right? I want to highlight the city. It is going to be fun, Kathy. I really hope. I don't know, right? The editing part of that, I'm going to try and do a really, really good job. At the very least, I'll do a minimal amount of editing so it won't drive crazy. I am ordering on next weekend. I am getting a proper lavalier, a wireless one. So I will have it Bluetooth to my phone. So the sound should be really, really good. And I'll be able to walk away from the camera, which means we'll be able to get a wider lens on the landscape behind me. So we'll get better pictures of Mother Nature. We'll get some walks in. I'll do some of the trails. Lake Superior, I'm going to do a couple of walks along, right? Because I'm rock hounding for sure, right? Not only going to mine, but I'm going to do some rock minding. I'm going to be doing some contemplation. I'm going to be finding some nice spots, and I'm going to be doing my my lessons. Put my lessons up there out there, but finding beautiful landscapes to sit and do it, and things that are pertinent in the moment, right? I have 8 lessons that I'm going to be concentrating on. I'll tell you those 8 lessons. I can manage 8 lessons. That will make 2 a day, like really good ones. Put everything into it. You know, I have a formula that I know I'm supposed to use, and if I stick to the formula and stick to my heart and stick to the experiences, right? My own experiences, and include Mother Nature, include this amazing trip. It's going to be a good time. But this is the 8 topics that I'm going to be talking about on this trip, and I'll find beautiful landscapes where we can sit down and actually have a conversation. I expect one of those conversations will be while I'm driving, while I'm actually on the highway on my trip. I expect one will be on Lake Superior with the lake behind me, right? I expect one will be on a hiking trail along a river, some beautiful landscape there. Definitely one while I'm mining. I would like to have one while I'm poking in a fire, in a campfire. But we're going to see how that goes, because I'm going after Labor Day, and usually campgrounds are shut down right after Labor Day. And even though the mine is open till mid-October, the campgrounds are going to be closed. So hopefully I'll be able to find something private, or I'll be able to find something like even a cove, like I did when I went to Toronto, just taking those coves along the highway and sleeping in those, right? Because I will be renting an SUV, right? A larger vehicle, so that I can camp in it, right? So that I can sleep in it. It's going to be fun. But these are the 8 lessons I want to put across. And I understand it has to be through my experience, like through my eyes, right? Things that I can put out a good lesson that I would know about, that I would probably be, I don't know, an expert, maybe not an expert, but something through my experiences, through the stories that I'm going to tell, because I will always have stories, right? Pertinent to the lesson, but that will be from a life experience I actually had, right? So number 1, choices. We'll be talking about the choices we make in our lives, right? That stunt our growth or move us forward or take us somewheres new. Going to talk about happiness and joy, how to bring a little bit of happiness and joy into our life, and reflecting a little bit why there is sometimes a lack of happiness and joy, and some things to remedy that, things that will help us out a little bit more so that we can pick through life and find those little things that make this journey of life, right? This life that can be difficult and full of challenges and struggles, make it fun, right? And life should not be just bearable. Life should not be just bearable, right? I know I have a lot of light in the darknesses here that shine your light for other people, even though there's a lot of darkness in your life. But that's a little bit of balance, isn't it? Because we all have light and dark in our lives. And if you can be your own darkness, right? Be your own darkness and shine at the same time. That's amazing. It's much better than having somebody else inflict their darkness into your life, right? For you to struggle and have pains through, right? When you have your own pain, because you have to struggle anyway, you might as well struggle in a way where you could fail and pick up a lesson, right? Being a spectator, see where you made your mistakes so that you can practice. It's like practicing, right? My relationship to Mother Nature, right? We're obviously going to talk about that because Cindy loves Mother Nature. Cindy loves Mother Nature. And a big part of this journey as I'm on is because of the Mother Nature, because of the healing properties, right? And I didn't even know it. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just kind of guided, and I just did what I love. And I took the opportunity to what? Smell the roses, to take a moment and appreciate my landscape around me and find solace in that. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. That was only number 3. Number 4, evolution and moving forward, because we know Cindy's all about moving forward, right? Getting better, right? Making improvements in our lives, setting goals and achieving them. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. Influence, impact, communication, right? And that's why what I do is I communicate and I try to connect. I don't know what kind of a job I do. I would like to think I do a pretty good job, that because we have become friends over the years, and to the fact that there are people here with me right now who have been with me for years, even though we might have different political ideas, right? We have different religious ideas, right? We're different nationalities, different cultures, different religions or traditions, right? And yet we're this close, right? It's just proof that it takes all kinds to make the world, right? And the way we shine on each other, right? Yeah, I love you guys to death, all of you, and I appreciate every single one of you. And if I don't say it often enough, I am sorry. I can be absorbed in what I'm doing and in my goals and in my daydreaming, right? In my imagination. Right? And it is a kooky ride. It is a kooky ride that I'm on. But I trust that this is going to lead somewhere. I have a beautiful story. My story of my journey is a beautifully written story. We're not just going to go, oh, and she lived happily ever after. No, it's going to be a magnificent prelude to the next chapter in my life. It has to be written beautifully. I know it's going to be written beautifully. It wouldn't have been written so beautifully as it has right now, with the credits going where they're supposed to go, right? With the stories that have accumulated in my journey and the experiences and the people that I've met, not just in the past few years, but in my entire life with you guys, right? Yeah, impact, influence, communication. That was number 5. Number 6, belief. Believe, right? For us to believe in that there is something more. And that's all we need. If we believe in something, and that's why people give up on life, right? Where people say, I've had enough. I'm not going one step further. I give up, right? And it's usually because they don't believe in something. I'm just giving a moment, right? I live right behind a fire station, so we get these great big fire trucks that speed by the front of my apartment building all the time. So yeah, and I hope you don't mind the air conditioner again. You guys said it was okay last week. I didn't go in afterwards to listen and watch my live show. So I really do hope that it sounds okay. I do apologize again if the sound is bad, but we're still in that heat wave. We're still in that crazy heat wave going on. Yeah, so how important it is for us to believe in something. Now, I've got each one of these topics. They each have their own page, and I have, right, the subtopics all underneath them that are attached to that content, right? So I have been taking notes. I just bought a 50-inch whiteboard, and I was looking for, I had an easel, an artist easel for the whiteboard, and I can't find it. I have no idea. Maybe I left it in my old apartment, but now I got to figure out, because I have no wall space. I have nowheres to put this whiteboard. I have nowheres to put it, but I will come up with something. Maybe I can do it with hooks on the ceiling or something. Maybe I can do that, right? I'll figure it out. But right now, I'll be using the easel or the whiteboard just for me, right? To figure out the itinerary for my trip, the breakdown of the subjects that I wanna. Oh, good. Oh, well, it has been a little bit cooler here. I mean, the fire, the smoke is still pretty bad here. It's sure gotten to deep of Canada. It must be so bad. I haven't been into the news. I don't know how the West Coast is doing right now. If anybody knows how the West Coast is doing right now with their fires, if they've gotten them under better control or not, if you could let me know. Oh, well, that's good to know. That's good to know that this heat wave has settled down a little bit. I'm hoping it'll cool off maybe next week here. I have my kite. I want to go fly my kite, you guys, right? Maybe this will be part of my first video, right? And we can sit down and have a chit chat as I'm flying my kite. I got the most amazing kite. Give me 1 second, I'll show you it. It has a 50-foot tail, you guys. It's absolutely huge. I've got it all pegged up with my clothes pegs because I got it nicely folded. But it's a dragon, you guys. I got a big dragon kite here. And yeah, I want to take it. I want to take it to a park. And this is the tail all folded up. All folded up is the tail. Like 50 feet, you guys. It's going to be so much fun. And I've got a spool of thread there for the thing. But I don't want to be doing it when it's super hot outside. When it's super hot outside, I want us to have a really good time with that. I actually thought maybe I could take it up to the roof, right? But if it flew through somebody's window, I don't think they would be too happy with me, right? Yeah. Okay, so belief. Yeah, how important it is for us to believe in something because you can't move forward. You don't have that gumption. You don't have that desire or drive to move when you're in depression or anxiety. You just want to sit in it. You don't like change, right? But if you believe in something, you will move. You will make the changes necessary to move if you believe in something. Yeah, so it's really, really important. Number 7, right? Student teacher. I talk about this all the time, how we're all students and teachers in life, that we all learn from the people that are in our groups that kind of hang out with us, right? Like even here, how we've become friends over the years and how we watch out for each other. And when we feel that somebody's down or having issues, that we can connect and hold each other up, and how we do that for each other without even thinking, right? And I think it's absolutely beautiful. But in saying student teacher, it also put talking also about participant spectator, right? That how important it is for us to be a spectator and sit and just watch people how they interact, watch how they make movements in their lives, watch where they make their mistakes, so maybe we don't have to go through the same problems and struggles that they had because we paid attention, right? We know who to move towards, we should hang out with more, and who we should pull away from, right? you know, and then, being a participant, actually getting in there because it's in our experiences that dictate the life that we're going to have, the movement we're going to make, right? The relationships that we're going to build, right? Yeah, so we have to have a good balance of that. But yeah, student teacher dynamic and the participant spectator, I put them as number 7. I put them together because they're a comparison of opposites there. So yeah, I thought I'd put those together. Number 8, the last one, commitment, right? Commitment, goal setting, keeping your word to yourself, right? When you say you're going to do something, do it. And if you're not able to, if you fail in that, not giving up, right? Just dusting yourself off, picking yourself up, getting back to it, and trying something new, right? But committing to the task, committing to the goal, committing to what you need to get done, for yourself or for somebody else, or to make something happen in your life, right? Or the adventure, right? Yeah. So commitment. And that's how I make a lot of my movement too, right? It's down packed. It's a no-brainer. It's happening no matter what. The moment I commit, it's a done deal, right? And then at that point, it's a matter of making it the smoothest uh, ride, right? With the least amount of pain and struggles and heartbreak that I possibly can, knowing like all of those things will try to take me down, right? As they do with all of us, right? We all know that. Everybody has struggles, you guys, but we all have different struggles. And lots of times, like I said, we don't see people's struggles because they'll keep a smile on their face, and you say, "Oh, how are you doing?" And they go, "Oh, I'm fine." Right? How's your health? "Oh, not bad. Just got to work on a few things, being evasive, right? Not sharing, not trusting. I'm open about everything, right? Because I'm going to know if you have information on me, and if you use it in some way to manipulate me or to pinch me in some way, I'm going to know it. I'm going to recognize it. It's not like I'm going to be a dummy and not recognize it. I'm hyper vigilant. I'm very, like I said, spectator, participant, and being a spectator means paying attention. So it's important for me to be genuine, and in telling this story, I think it's important for me to share what I'm going through right now, because I know that there are lots of people who are going to go through maybe not the same thing in the same way as I do, but they're going to have the same issues, the same limiting beliefs, right? They're going to have those same problems. And it just seems kind of miraculous, doesn't it? Some of these things that have gone on and the struggles that I had and the way things worked out, you could just see the direction in my story, the way that it's being directed. And I guess that's why I don't stress out that things aren't going the way that I want them to, and right? The places I want to be, the things I want to do, right? Some of those goals that I set for myself. Right? Yeah, I would like to see things get a little bit easier. I would like to have that abundant life where I could go off and be able to afford the things I want to do. And right, I enjoy camping in the car, right? But maybe I would enjoy camping in a fifth wheel, right? Have my own tour van going on, living on the van, traveling North America in my fifth wheel. Maybe I would like that too. But it's not even an option in my mind. Why? Because I don't have that abundant life, right? Because these things cost lots and lots of money. So I don't even think about them. These are things that don't cross into my mind. But I know it just takes a split second, and an opportunity could come across where I would get a choice, right? That I could choose something different myself that would bring that abundant life to me, where I could cover all my bills and my past debt, feel good about myself for, right, holding up to what I owe and what I need to take care of, and not feel bad when I want to go off and do things, right? That I can afford to go off, and I could be a little bit frivolous. I could stay in a nice hotel, or like I said, camp in my fifth wheel, right? It's set up like all cool and modern, and just hit the road. Just hit the road. Oh, it sounds amazing, right? Kind of the life for me. Yeah, do workshops, seminars, meet some of those great thought leaders. Yeah, act like a groupie a little bit, see how close I can get to them. Right? Because I understand I'm a bit of a courier service, that I physically, right? Those big gifts for people, they come physically, right? And I believe I have a gift for everybody, and it's just in our interactions. And some of it rubs off this way, right? But just in baby doses and little inspiration and little motivational moments. But to actually have your head spin. I've had my head spin. A few times. I might not have recognized those moments in my life before, but having a strong experience and something to base those experiences on, I know I've had a few of them. I know I've had a few of them, and I expect that I will have a few more, right? And they're amazing. They're amazing to have. And just the insight and the what's the word I'm looking for? The innovation that comes from those, right? Wow. Yeah, I remember some of those moments, and I have to kind of remind myself and not let myself forget about some of those very, very strong experiences that made it possible and believable for me to trust that the way I'm experiencing this whole journey is true, right? And just not let some of those experiences fade off in the background because they were as real as anything in my life, right? As real as anything. And yeah, I want some of those visions I have to come true. And I understand that there are potentials. Those were potentials. And right, even if I take baby steps, if I just stay in the right direction, maybe I'll never accomplish my goals, right? But I've proven to myself already that I can achieve goals, that I can reverse engineer, that I can, right? And this is a part of it too, going off next month, right? Setting this goal, taking this trip, but making sure that it provides value for people in the lessons that I serve out there, that it provides calming for my soul by being connected with Mother Nature, that maybe it adds on to my entrepreneurship, that I come home with lots of beautiful amethysts, right? That I come home with a lot of beautiful amethysts, that it maybe can be a part of my brand, something that I can offer out there, right? That maybe I can, right, update myself and make sure that I'm staying up to date on the things that I need to do with running my YouTube channel, whether it's with the editing or the artwork on the main channel, whether it's with the connections with my Amazon, right? I don't know how many of you guys have hit on those links in the description to my Amazon store, right? But I have those too. And that all needs to be updated, all of it. And this is stuff that I should be doing right now. And instead, what did I do today? I contemplated a little bit about my family, right? I celebrated my sister's birthday. I enjoyed my days off, but I've got big plans. I have big plans and big goals for the next 6 weeks anyway. And even though I've kind of got it figured out, and most of it is a waiting game for the time for me to leave, right? I mean, I could get into the camping gear and the stuff that I have in the closet, but it's going to just clutter and dirty up my living room right now, especially when I still have 6 weeks to go. But looking at it will also inspire me to say, okay, it's coming up fast, Cindy. You better get down packed with those lessons, right? Because you said you're going to do a good job and put your best foot forward. Well, right, your followers better see that, right? And of course, I would like you guys to think that I did a good job, that I actually put an effort in to do a good job. That's what I'm kind of hoping for, you guys. Yeah. There were a few actors who did that, didn't they? Well, especially the people like Tom Hanks does that. Tom Hanks does that because he does a lot of those cartoon movies and stuff, right? He's got Toy Story. He's got a few of them do voiceovers. Yeah, really, really funny because I know that I have a very high pitched voice, right? That my voice is either going to irritate the poop out of you, or you're going to find it clear and precise, right? That you'll be able to understand it clearly. Yeah, I used to have friends, and we used to, like, the deaf guys would hang around with me and all that stuff just because my voice was so high pitched that even if they could just hear a little bit, at the very least, they could listen to me. My friend Brian, he loved hanging out with me just because we could carry on a conversation and he wouldn't miss stuff. He wouldn't feel stupid because he didn't hear stuff because he always heard everything I said because my voice was so high pitched, right? Mm. I got 2 cups of coffee. This was the first cup, but I thought I needed a nice fresh cup, so I made this little one. This is the one I should be drinking. Yeah. But yeah, I went for a couple of walks this week and getting the exercise. I went bottle digging. I didn't really dig anything up. I just kind of found a few buttons and stuff, but it wasn't a matter of going out to find things. It was just a matter of going out just to get in touch with Mother Nature, right? Adapt and conquer. I know I need the outdoors in my life, right? And even if I think I have a busy life, there are spans during the course of my days where I can make time to get out there, right? And have a walk. I need to put air in my tires. I could have ridden my bike. Instead, I walked over to the restaurant that they were meeting for breakfast, my family. But instead, I walked over there because my bike had flat tires. So now I've got to wait and take my bike to get its tires filled up. I don't know if there's a gas. Oh, I know where there's a gas station around here. Yeah, and then fill up my tires just so I can go back. Because once it cools off, I will want to get on my bike. I'm really surprised. We haven't gotten much rain, you guys. How much rain have you guys gotten out there? We haven't gotten much rain this year here in Manitoba. It's been pretty dry here. The water levels are really low. All the bottles are sticking out of the mud and everything. It's just been too hot for me to get out there, even though I'm still trying. I'm still doing it, but I'm not doing it for any great lengths of time, and I'm not putting a great deal of effort into it. I actually just finished plucking all the spurs off my favorite sweats when I went bottle digging last weekend. I wore my favorite sweats, but when I did, I was walking in the bushes and they got just covered by spurs. And I tried to hand wash them, but the spurs just stuck to them. And I thought, oh, it's going to be so hard to get these off that I just should throw them off into the garbage. But they were a pair of root sweats, and I got compliments on them, and I liked them. They were comfortable. So I just sat here, and actually that's what I did before I went live tonight on YouTube, is I actually was picking the spurs off of the sweats, and I did it. And I just threw them in the laundry basket, and I'll wash them, and they'll go back to being my favorite. Oh, I bet you do. I love the rainstorms. I love thunderstorms. I love lightning. I love tons of rain. And again, I haven't gotten lots. A couple of times I took my umbrella to work, thinking it was going to have thunderstorms because they said there was going to be, but still no rain, right? And I do get a lot of joy. Like if I have 3 days off, how pleasant it would be to stay inside of my apartment in front of my big picture window and take my lessons in and see the rain pounding down and getting some things done, organized for the trip. I've been working on your walking stick, um, Andrew. I have to sand it by hand. I bought a new grinder and I was able to grind the knots off, right? I was able to grind the knots off, but I'm sanding it by hand. I'm trying to make you a thumb hole right here. So every time I sand, I'm purposely digging into here. So you'll be able to get your thumb in there at some point. Yeah, it still needs to go in at least another half an inch. But I just started doing it, and I just sanded it down, but it's pretty straight, isn't it? Isn't it a nice stick? It's got a nice handle. It's going to have a really nice handle. I think it's going to be a nice stick, and then I'll just taper it a little bit. I do have a rubber foot for it, and yeah. But again, I've only got 5 or 6 weeks to get this done, and I want it to go on my trip with me. I want this to go on my trip with me, this walking stick. All my sticks go on a trip. Owen, if you want me to take your stick, because seeing I still have your stick, Owen, if you want me to take your stick on this trip to Thunder Bay, let me know. Maybe I'll take it out on the trail or something, right? Take both sticks with me. Because what trip did I take your stick out on, Owen? I think I've taken it up to Assiniboine Forest a few times and hung out with the deers with your stick. I'm not sure if it went on an urban exploration. I'm not sure if I took it with me to Toronto. I don't think I did. That would be a very long time for me to still have this stick in my possession. It's sitting in my walk-in closet because I went in there today looking for the easel to put my whiteboard on it, and I saw it sitting in the corner with Nancy's magic wand and with Karen's walking stick, the stick that I did for Karen. Let me show you guys those sticks, because just in case you've just come to my lives and you didn't know that I do woodwork. And my signature is my thumb holes for walking sticks, all of my sticks. Now this stick, I love this stick here because it's got all the worm rod in it, right? And this is a walking stick I did for my friend Karen. And I haven't heard from her for a while. Mind you, she did pop into a couple of my posts on Instagram last week, and that was really nice to hear. It was her birthday last week, and she also posted on YouTube. So I suspect now with the coronavirus starting to ease up a little bit, that I expect that she'll pop by, and I bet you she would get great use out of this walking stick right now. I think I did a really good job on it. I think I got it fairly straight. I think the thumb hole, right? Look what I did in here, right? And also it has holes in it. You can see that. So she can put a chain in there or a piece of leather. She can hang her keys off of that if she wants, so she doesn't lose her keys. But it just has an amazing thumb hole on it. I'm really pleased with this one. This one is Owen's walking stick. It's a little bit simpler, but it's nice. It's a nice straight stick, and it's got beautiful coloring on it. His stick has this is a piece of Manitoba maple, and he wanted his name on it, and it's got a few coats over that, so that name will never, ever wear off. That's Owen's stick. And it's also got a thumb hole. He's got a different style. He has just a simple one for his thumb because it is a thinner stick. I wanted to give Owen a stick that was more like a walking stick because, he might not have those issues right? A little bit more stability, especially like I'm doing Andrew's stick, so that it's a little bit more stable because I know that Owen's knees are not great. But yeah, I still have these sticks, but they're $50 for me to ship them off, and I'm just cheap. But I swear, after my trip to Thunder Bay, I will make these a priority. And I have Nancy's wand, but it still needs to be varnished. Her wand still needs to be varnished, and I still need a little bit more artwork on hers, right? Yeah, Kathy got her stick. I've got a few of my sticks out there. I don't sell my sticks, but I do make them, and I give them away to special people in my life, right? I give them to, again, my followers, people who've been with me for a while. I give them to my friends. I made one for my sister Tracy. I made a beautiful one for my sister Tracy, a really beautiful one. And I'm not sure if she uses it. She's very headstrong. She's very, she's one in a million. She's one in a melon. She's one in a melon. That's my sister Tracy, right? But yeah, this is what I love to do. I love to I'm going to slow down. I'm not going to be doing so many of them. I might do one a year or something now, only because I'm more mature and because I'm moving on, right? I have things to do with my time, and this is something I did to help calm my system, but I do other things, right? And in the span, instead of working on this in the evening, I could go for a walk, or I could go for a bike ride, or I could take a lesson in, or I could go live with somebody, right? So interests change a little bit, right? And that's okay. That that is okay, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because that just shows me that I am moving, that I am willing to make the changes necessary to move forward, right? Oh, really? Keep us updated on that, Andrew. I find those kind of topics really, really interesting. I like to follow the different discoveries when people find antiquities and different discoveries. And yeah, it's exciting to hear these new things. Well, you guys heard like how excited I got when I heard about Dragon Man, right? When I heard about Dragon Man. But I like technology. I like innovation. I like the world to move forward. I like these interesting aspects, right? Because these are choices that we make, right? That these are people's perseverance in moving forward. And then these magnificent ideas and these magnificent discoveries happen, right? Because people persevere, people don't give up, people believe in something, right? Yeah, I've been following the 15 elephants. I kind of slowed down on that a little bit. I've been following Elon Musk and what they're doing with the space station, and Jeff Bezos and him getting and Branson and him getting involved in this stuff and all these space races going on. I've been following that a little bit, but basically, I have been staying in emotions, right? Uh, in my studies in narcissism and complex trauma, right? And codependency, control. I think as we move forward in the future, control is something that's going to happen more often. And I think the idea is to be able to hold on to as much of our emotional well-being as we possibly can, and even recover some of those connections that we had to our emotions, and try to avoid moving into narcissism. I think we're going to see a lot of that independence, that I believe in what I see, what I experience, right? I'm right, you're wrong, and people not being able to trust others, us wanting to control all our situations and every aspect of our life, anything that comes into our sphere. I think that through understanding emotions, through working on our limiting beliefs, by going back and working through some of that trauma, um, and actually learning to trust ourselves, learning to trust others, learning not to sabotage ourselves, because we are our greatest enemies, no doubt about it. We are our greatest enemies. That we can move forward, right? That we can make a better world. Funny man, Melvin. Hi, dear. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope your week is going well. And I do, like I said, I thank everybody for coming hanging out with me on Sunday nights. And you know what? If you actually are in here, if you throw me a thumbs up, that would help YouTube to get my content out there, because we know Cindy is not covering trending content, but I hope to with this trip that was coming up, right? Aren't we excited? I know I'm excited. I know I'm excited about hitting the road, about learning to be making those videos again. I'm excited to do a little bit of editing, and also at the same time, to be honest, dreading having to get back into my editing, because editing was not something I enjoyed. I enjoyed the artist part of it, trying to make it hit home the way I wanted it to hit. Um, but the actual work of it, I wasn't very good at it. I didn't normally even get close to the vision that I had for the content that I wanted to put out there. But that feel good, how it made me feel, that, I was part of the game, that I was contributing, right? That I was trying, and in trying, you get better, right? So just putting it out there. And yeah, I'm really hoping that this lock is going to come off of me, and I'm going to have a little bit of freedom, and I'm going to have a little bit of success in the creativity and the art that I want to put across in this trip that I'm taking. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going mining, people. I'm going mining. Who would have ever thought that I would be going mining, right? And this is just something, maybe this one little trip for 5 or 6 days that I'm going to go on, maybe that will be enough. Maybe that will energize me, motivate me enough that I could generate a little bit of momentum, that I could feel that success, and that we could move a little bit easier going forward. And if it doesn't, I'm still here tomorrow. I'll still be here on Sundays, right? I'll still be here on Sundays. Yeah, funny. And I know Dave and Sharon, they'll pop in. They'll pop in later, right? Robert will pop in later. Hi to you guys. I know you can't always make it in for Sunday nights for these, but I know that you guys come in and leave your comments. And for those of you who've never hung out with us on Sunday night, we have an amazing crew here. And it gets more amazing all the time. I'm a true believer, and I hope a lot of the people who hang out with me here are true believers, that it takes all kinds to make the world, right? We judge our friendships and our relationships, right, by what they bring to the table. But necessarily, because we're all changing all the time, that people are in and out of our lives all the time. So I would like to see more of my friendships, more of my acquaintances, people that I hang out with, people I want to learn from, right? If they thought a little bit more like me, right? That their values were a little bit more in keeping with how the values that I like to bring to the table, and then just build on relationships that way, right? And it takes time. I understand it takes time. It takes time to trust, even, right? To just open up a little bit and trust that everything's going to be okay, right? It's hard to sometimes to offer up that trust and expect that it's going to be accepted, right? Or not. It's all in our choices, 100%. Yeah. I am looking forward to this. I'm hoping it's a good start in moving forward. And like I said, next week or maybe this week, I'll have an opportunity maybe that we could go off and have a chit chat. I can fly my kite. I show everybody my kite flying skills. My dad used to take us out kite flying all the time, but on the norm, I think we always made our kites. We made our own kites. I think we made them out of garbage bags when we were kids. We used to make our kites out of garbage bags. I've never had a kite like this, like I have now. It's going to be so much fun, and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm going to try and decorate it a little bit more. I was thinking of going to the store and picking up some sparkles and stuff and really doing a good job so that when the sun hits it, that it really shows well, right? it has a great big huge spool of thread on it that I'll be able to get that kite up high for sure. Yeah, my only problem is, will I be able to have a good grip on it, or will I fly away with the kite? Yeah, not a chance. I haven't lost that much weight. Yeah, I was very surprised to see how much weight my sister has lost. Yeah, my sister has lost quite a bit of weight, but I really hope that her situation is a little bit more stable coming up. That she'll get some, not necessarily expecting good news, but I think having an answer to what the issues are and having a game plan moving forward, I think that is good news. I think that will be good news, right? That will be calming for the soul. That will give a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration just to move a little bit forward, right? Maybe be a little bit open mind to a little bit of different ideas, right? You never know. All I have to know is try to be close once in a while, right? Try and be kind in this process. Try and put myself in other people's shoes when I step into their lives, right? That I'm not interrupting things too much or too much too fast, right? Sometimes I like to make change. I hope that I'm able to make a change in people's life. That is always my hope, right? But at the same time, I know it's got to be done through kindness, and I know that it's got to be other people's ideas, right? A box kite. Oh, that would be fun. A box kite. And would it get up there? Would it get up there really high? Yeah, be interested to know that. Yeah, I know exactly what kind of kite you're talking about. Did you make your own kite, Melvin, or would you buy a box kite? Would it be something bought? And was it a big kite or was it a small box? Was it a big box or a small box? Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Yeah, I like kite flying. It was something I enjoyed, but I think it was mostly the company that I kept with my dad, right? When he'd take us out on these adventures. And like I said, my dad was a compulsive gambler, so sometimes he would have to be creative in the adventures that he would put together for the family. A family is six. I mean, right? You take them to the movies, that's going to be a lot of money. And we did a lot of drive-ins. My dad was big on drive-ins, and we could probably go on cheap night and, right, get in our pajamas. Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, get in our pajamas and, right, get our pillows and blankets and pile into the car and go to the drive-in. Right? We lived in a great generation. We did. But I'm very grateful to come in at the tail end of my life, but be able to come in at the beginning of the digital age, to be a part of that. I'm very grateful for that. I wish more baby boomers would jump into it a little bit better, especially how helpful it would have been. And I think, right, the coronavirus would have done a little bit of good that way because grandparents were forced to learn to FaceTime if they wanted to stay connected with their grandkids, right? I think so. Well, I have mantras, right, and things that I say that make it so that I believe that I'm going to live to be 114 years old. 114 years old. I don't know anybody who's lived to be 114 years old, but if anybody could do it, I think I might be able to do it. Why? Because of my good health. And I know you guys, you don't all have good health out there, that you have these struggles and these issues. And I don't say it, right? I hope you guys don't think I say it to smudge it in people's faces. But I say it because it's important to voice your gratefulness in the things that you're grateful for, right? And having good health, to be turning 60 years old in 2 months on the 22nd of October. I will be 60 years old. And I'm very grateful not to feel like I'm 60, not to have those health issues that people quite often start getting when they hit their 60 years old, that I'm still able to get out on the road and go for hikes, right? Fly a kite, go on adventures and road trips. I'm grateful, so grateful for that. But it's not meant to, like I said, to say, oh, look at me, I could do this. And sorry for your miseries, but that's not the way it is, right? Sometimes, again, going back to saying about being a spectator and a participant, right? Sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes we have aches or pains. Sometimes we have health issues. Sometimes it's that darkness in the light that holds us back from being able to get some of that sunshine for ourselves. And sometimes we have to live vicariously through others' adventures, right? And that's what I hope to bring to the table, you guys. That's what I hope to bring to the table with my life adventures, these funny adventures, and these I don't know what they are. I have no idea. I take you along with my journey, and I'm grateful you guys kind of hang out with me as I'm doing it. And if it's not insightful, right, if it doesn't provide value that way, I hope at the very least that it's at least entertaining, right? That you're at least entertained by it, right? Yeah, but like I said, we all have issues. So even if physically I feel good, that physically that I could be here to be 114 years old, right? I still have emotional struggles. I still have limiting beliefs. I still self-sabotage, right? I make those problems for myself, right? Just so I have something to work on, right? So yeah, I'm not perfect, believe me. But, right, some people you don't see that they have problems, right? At least I'm willing to talk about it. And at least the people with the physical issues, that we're able to notice that they have physical issues and take that into considerations in our interactions with each other, right? You know, again, some of us, we hide behind smiles when we're actually got lots of terrible, terrible struggles going on. Lots of us do, right? Look at Robin Williams. Like I said, we didn't know he had those emotional issues, those problems. And the next thing you know, he's gone. And because we didn't recognize he had those issues, we didn't offer to help. We didn't offer up solutions. Maybe one of us had those solutions. One of us had that answer. But because we didn't know it, because he didn't show it, because, right, he hid behind a smile, that we didn't get that opportunity to offer up something that might have saved him, that made it possible for him to stick around and shine on us and offer up those gifts that he had. And boy, didn't he have some gifts, right? He was a very funny man. And not just funny, he was very insightful. He picked serious roles in his acting too, right? Yeah, not just comedy, but he gave us meat in his acting to actually think about. Just think, even that movie Good Will Hunting. Remember that movie Good Will Hunting? What a great movie. And what that offered up to people who had, right, struggles or found themselves to be different, or and just to be able to have somebody to actually talk to while you're trying to overcome some of these obstacles, like I said, for the most part, we put into place, right? 100%, Owen. 100%. You're 100% right on that. And it's heartbreaking. So, sometimes I think maybe these illnesses or these disabilities, which are weaknesses too, but they're more visible, right? Other people can see them. And when other people can see them, they can offer up help, right? They can offer up help. And yet some people who need the help the most, they don't get offered anything. Why? Because, right, they're smiling through their pain, right? They're hacking away on their own and nobody sees that they need help too, right? Yeah. And even thinking that, I threw my TV away. I'm not connected with the news. Some important things get across my path, but I think in my journey, it's important for me not to delve into those topics that will bring me down, that will distract me from what I need to get done, right? So I got rid of my TV, trusting that what I needed to know would come across my path. And it has during this coronavirus. I was updated. I wasn't compulsed by what was going on, but through the experiences of the people that follow me in our emails, in our interactions, in our DMs, right? In the little bit of content that YouTube suggests to me, I would stay update as to what was going on. %. You're right, Andrew, right? But unless we talk about it, right? And unless we talk about our problems, people aren't going to think that they have the permission to talk about their problems too, right? So I say, like, if you have a platform, if you're on social media, right, share your journey, share your struggles, share your lessons, because those are all lessons that will help other people along the way, right? Those will help other people in their movement forward, right? Just showing up, doing the best that you can, right? Just doing the best that you can. Understanding that it takes all kinds to make the world, right? Yeah. We're nothing. We're nothing without each other holding each other up, right? 100%. Yeah. But that's my hopes anyway with this trip coming up. That was my hopes. Right? Because you don't want to delve any deep. It's just a signal when somebody says I'm fine, that says don't get any closer to that topic. I'm not interested in discussing it. I'm fine. Let's leave it at that, right? But if somebody's honest and you ask, how are you doing, right? And somebody starts talking, right? And you give them their time, right? The truth will come out. And when the truth comes out, somebody's going to hear that's gone through that same experience, that maybe has an insight that will make the struggle a little bit easier for you. But how are they going to know unless we cough up that information, unless we open up, right? Unless we trust a little bit, right? That not everybody means us harm. But yeah, it's about just following our instincts, right? Basing our friendships on our morals, right? Sticking with people that think, right? Because we all think differently. But if you keep it on your basis of your morals, what do you think? What's important to you, right? Kindness matters, right? Kindness matters. If you can hold on to just that one base value, you'd be more than welcomed with us at any time, right? Because every single one of you guys are kind, right? And I practice too. I try to, right? I try and let my heart reach out, even in today, even in the kindnesses from other people, finding that possibility that I can pass on a kindness to, knowing that those kindnesses, right? I'm here right now because of people's kindnesses, because somebody took a moment to sit with me, to help me, to offer up a solution that might work, right? If I chose it to, right? It's all in our choices. Oh, 100%. My husband is a prime example of that, Andrew. Coming back with his post traumatic stress disorder, he never said boo to me. I knew something was different. I knew in our physical interactions that something was different, right? And then I knew he loved me. I knew he loved me, but I didn't know what was going on. I felt he was hiding something from me. I didn't understand. We were already separated. Our marriage had already fallen apart by the time I found out that he had post traumatic stress disorder. that I found, because I did hear about a couple of the experiences he had. He did open up, and I heard conversations. So I did have some understandings, but I didn't understand how difficult those experiences were on him. That he was, right, because he hid it so well, right? And maybe if he hadn't hidden it, if I had known that he had had problems, that maybe I could have gotten a little bit closer in those conversations with him, right? And that maybe we could have moved together a little bit easier, that maybe there would have been a little bit more resolution at the very least. I could have done a better job in the breakup. I could have understood a little bit better and not made it so difficult in that initial separation, right? At the ending of our marriage, that I could have done a better. I think I did a pretty good job. I did the best I could, right? I did the best I could. And I did what I thought was best for the relationship. And following suit from what he wanted to, right? It was a mutual. It was mutual. And yeah, a little bit of heartbreak on both ends, quite a bit of heartbreak, right? But yeah, in the end, we really didn't communicate very well. That communication was not there. There was nothing I could do. I mean, I didn't know what was wrong. I just knew that it was over, right? And I didn't understand because he kept it a secret. He hid his problems from me, right? I didn't even have a chance. I didn't have an opportunity. I didn't even get to have a say, right? Okay, everybody. I guess that's it for tonight. Another Sunday under the belt. We're getting close. We're getting close. And I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking the first video will be on the day that I choose to go for an afternoon of flying my kite. We can have a conversation. I can share a little bit more about the itinerary and a little bit about what I want to do. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I will have a great week. I hope everybody out there has a great week too. I hope everybody's systems are going okay. I know things are a little bit hairy, scary out there, but I think we're managing just fine. I think we're managing just fine. Just hack away at it the best you can, right? That's all we can expect. Be genuine. If there's any way that you could start trusting a little bit, open up a little bit. If you're having some problems, share it with people, right? Email me, DM me. If you guys ever want to go live with me on Instagram, I go live every single morning on Instagram. You can come in right live with me. And if you don't want to go face to face, if you don't want anybody to see you, there's an option for you to turn the camera around and you could show me what you're eating or show me the view out your kitchen window. Show me what you're reading. Show me something else and we can have a discussion that way. We adapt, we conquer, we make it happen, right? Okay, everybody. That's it for tonight. We'll see each other next Sunday. Have a great week, everybody.